So hi, welcome to this podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Santeri from Cemetery Skyline.
And we have some questions to say about their new album, Nordic Gothic. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
It's been pretty overwhelming, People seem to like it. And especially one thing which I respect, that we now released the whole album, and I've been reading like comments which song is somebody's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like hundreds of answers, and it seems that everybody has a different favorite song, which is actually pretty good sign for it's a sign for a strong album.
Absolutely.
From my 30-year-old experience. So I'm really excited that everybody finds something out of there. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a little bit different feelings about the best tracks or the favorite tracks. That's always a true pleasure to read those kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The album front to back is extremely solid and strong. It's such an enjoyable listening experience.
Yeah, it is incredible.
Nice to hear. It's been only I think out for like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So we are still taking the baby steps, but so far it's really nice to read reviews and hear your comments, because I really didn't play the album like only for the record company meanwhile, and not even to the friends, just for the record company and the guys who work with us with the production, like we did one show, the crew guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I was totally in the darkness, So now I can actually read and hear how the people really think about it.
Yeah. Why did you keep the album like so close to your chest versus like sharing it with the people around you?
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that we are pretty busy with the Morphis. All the weekends I was doing the festivals, and we did the North American tour in a springtime. We did a lot of shows, South American tour, and maybe I'm at my age. I'm 50-year-old guy, and all my friends are sitting home and babysitting. You know what or teenagers sitting. So or maybe I just don't care. I don't care what my friends think about the album, because they are not like real fans or customers in any way, but of course they will tell me when they find it from Spotify, or they see from social media that I have a new band. They will check it out, but to be honest, I don't really care. I'm very happy for the album with the band. I think we are all happy with how it turned out to be, and now we can read like real audience's reactions and how they feel about it. Those things I care a little bit, but I don't really care. I don't really care how my janitor thinks about it.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
I get it. All right. And is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Well, it's all connected to the lyrical context Mikael created for the whole album. He actually suggested the album name, and it's about the Scandinavian particular weird thing what's going on here, that people say that's the statistics say that Scandinavia is the happiest place in the world, and everything's so fucking great here. Sweden and Finland and stuff, but still somehow there are more people dying alone, living the last years alone, or living their life alone, chosen or not chosen, or self-chosen or not self-chosen. But Mikael suggested the title because it comes from it kind of ties up all the things what he's saying and singing in this, what the story he's telling. He put it together with that under that title. Obviously, we had a lot of title ideas. Like normally when you put out an album, everybody suggests something like some crazy shit which has nothing to do with lyrics but sounds cool. But we Mikael suggested it pretty early in the process, and I think everybody trusted him and understood that it's much better that the name actually puts the shit together, instead of we just find some cool name which is kind of like a punchy and represent the scene, but this name actually ties up the storylines together, and it represents what he's actually trying to say.
Mhm.
And I know he worked with the cover artist like pretty deeply together. You know, he sent some documents about things he's saying, like the Scandinavian problems.
Mhm.
And also we talked about like the Scandinavian point of views to the lives, how we are not that kind of like a happy nations. You know, we have kind of like a tendency for depression and tendency. Well, there's a lot of contradictions in life and some broken relationships we talk about pretty wide open, and that's what Michael is actually singing and saying. He's talking about broken relationships and disappointments in lives, and also about being alone in the world, even though you should be so goddamn happy. So I think the cover artist Val Noir from Metastasis Paris, he got it totally, and he really built up like a context. I think the moment when we actually became like a Gothic band, we don't actually didn't we are not the Gothic band in our point of view. We more like think we are darkish, melancholic hard rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
But somehow when the artwork came out, or when the first ideas for the artwork, then we started to understand that okay, we are actually a Gothic band.
Yeah.
It
Maybe we
just
are a
like
little Gothic.
naturally showed itself. You're like, maybe
Yeah.
we are.
And obviously the record company, they need to categorize the music somehow to let the people find it more easy. That if you don't categorize it anyway, it's very hard for the audience just to, oh, hey, I'm going to listen to that album. But they really pointed out the Gothic thing. But and it's all right for us. It's just marketing for us. I think there's much more things going on than just the label Gothic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Well, it was done remotely because we all live in a different city. Well, Mikael lives with the bass player in Göteborg, Gothenburg in Sweden, but basically with the Finnish guys, Markus and me wrote all the music, and we don't live in the same city. So it was basically bouncing ideas back and forth. And we spoke about it in the beginning when we formed the band that we should go back to our childhood or growing up times, you know, like when we were 20s, 30s, when we were in the clubs and we like Type O Negative, Paradise Lost, Killing Joke, The Mission, Depeche Mode, whatever. There's so many bands, that's kind of a good guide. And we just spoke about it. We should do something else than what we're already doing in our bands. You know, he has Insomnium, I have Amorphis, he has Omnium Gatherum, Mikael has Dark Tranquility and stuff. So we tried to make music without any like restrictions, because there was no band, there is no box to put us. You know, there's no restrictions which comes throughout the decades of doing something. And so we just tried to make good hard rock with a melancholic vibe and in the spirit of all these great 90s great bands, not try to copy them. We are too professionals and too experienced. It doesn't make any sense try to make something which has already been done. We obviously the first choice was to do something to honor these great bands and honor that kind of a atmospherical scene or genre what there was. And it was kind of fun because, as I said, normally the bands where you are, they have certain genre box and the restrictions, and you have to kind of keep it there. Or if you make a song which is not in the box, you can basically throw it away. It's not going to end up in an album anyway.
Yeah.
But but with this band, when you build a new band, actually there is no box.
Exactly.
It's wide open. You have a total freedom of expression. Obviously, the box gets narrower all the time when the singer sings more lyrics and vocal melodies. It a little bit narrows the box, but just a little bit because it's a debut album, and we actually can do whatever we want. We don't have an audience. There's nobody to disappoint. You know,
you're setting the scene.
Yeah. We are setting up a new band and new way for us to express ourselves and make music. So. So I just make music which I like and without any restrictions. And I try to avoid the approach like extreme metal, like super technical and thrash metal riffing stuff or anything extremes. I try to concentrate on the things like a good melodies, good atmospheres, good like solid songs, which it's kind of like music what I've never been able to do because I've always been in my first band was a new metal band.
Yeah.
It was pretty freedomish, but in Amorphis we've always have some sort of a box. It's the box has a little bit changed, you know, like the Eclipse, Silent Waters, Skyforger era, we were basically hard rock, but now we are going to the technical metal. But only thing I was thinking that I'm not gonna make any like a metal song like with the riffs and with the technical extremes, you know, and like
big breakdown,
aggression.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to more like concentrate on the vibes and atmospheres and grooves and give Michael very good solid bass for singing. And I think Markus did the same, and he was just bringing in some simple rocky tunes where Michael can build up like a nice storyline and melodies and stuff. So
yeah, I think you guys nailed it. But I'm curious, like, you know, with it being a remote process, did you guys struggle with that at all, or did it come pretty naturally? You know, not being able to get in a room and write together.
I have to say it became very naturally. Just maybe because we've always liked this kind of music, but we never had a chance to make it. So you know, suddenly you can sit in the piano or grab a guitar, and you don't have to try to go to the extremes and try to keep it in a certain technical level or try to impress the audience because there was no audience. You can just make music for yourself, and then you can, okay, after the first judgment, you can throw it away. But if you don't throw it away, you send it to the guys, and then they comment it, and that's how it went. Of course, I threw out a lot of songs because you have to do the selection. I think I wrote like 40 songs, so there was plenty of songs thrown away. Yeah. But then you send it to the guys, and they normally they say awesome. But when there is nothing happening to the song, nobody's playing it, there's no drums, there's bass is not coming, guitars are waiting, then you realize, okay, it's not that good song. They just said it's awesome just to be polite. Yeah. But I think that's the process we had, that people can't, there was sort of a selection process by everyone, but nobody spoke about it. And Mikael, if Mikael just didn't sing the song, then it was probably a bad song. There was there was one song like When Silence Speaks, when I was waiting for like a half a year, and he was like, I can't figure out anything, maybe we drop it. Then I said like, oh, no. This is definitely the song. We are not going to drop it. Yeah. I can make the melodies for you. And then
I let you cut 30 songs. Can you give me this one, please?
Yeah. This is the one we are not going to cut out. We have to give it a shot. I'm not saying it's going to have to end up in an album, but we have to try to make it as a demo.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And kind of on the topic of that, what song off the album took longest to write? And then what is your personal favorite off the record?
Which took longest to write? I think none. They are all kind of like pretty quick ones. You have to ask Markus about that. I really don't know. But for me, it was very like inspirational. I wrote them like almost in a one night, like the Behind the Lie. I just took the guitar and wrote it in a couple of hours. I'm so bad guitarist, it ended up a pretty simple Gothic song, but that's understandable. Also, When Silence Speaks, I heard about my father called me just like in the middle of the day that he's gonna die in a month for cancer. So I just sat in the piano and basically wrote the song as it is now, like with the one sit. So no problem there either. There was a lot of maybe emotional help. And In Darkness song, I remember I wrote it already like 10 years ago for myself. and it was too crossover to put it to any bands I had back then. But it was also pretty easy. It was one night I was pretty drunk, and I started to jam, and I wrote the song basically as it is. And but I never found a project where to put it. But then Markus sent me with this project. He sent me Violent Storm demo, and then I sent him In Darkness demo, and suddenly it's in the album. So I don't think there was any struggles. We had some struggles, like because we never knew what's going to happen, how people will approach it. So we little bit maybe the only struggle was to when Markus sent me his demos, I gave ideas like let's cut it out a little bit. This is too much repetition, and then he was fighting against. But then I convinced him that let's make it a little bit shorter.
Exactly, just a little
basic problems. And
yeah. And then your personal favorite.
Oh my God, I should say When Silence Speaks, because I have that emotional attachment to it, and it reminds me from the moment when I realized that the shit is gonna hit the fan. But on the other hand, I also love the Coldest Heart somehow. I like the atmosphere in it, and I always like to hear my piano jam underneath Mika's vocals, because it was something I brought in totally out of the box. It wasn't there in the first place, but I played kind of like a bluesy Beatles-ish, like a piano thing underneath the vocals, and Markus bought it, and it stayed in the song. But Coldest Heart is very nice. It reminds me from the certain era of the 90s, like 97, 98, when Type O Negative was pretty big one. I'm not saying the song sounds Type O Negative. Everybody knows the intro. Honors Type O Negative. That's quite obvious. But actually the song sounds very fresh and new, and something like it sounds very much like us, like Cemetery Skyline, that there's there's a 90s vibe, but it's still something new to the table and something very fresh. And I love the guitar synthesizer interlude in the middle. Oh, that's it's kind of like a proggy element of the album. Maybe only one.
Okay. I mean, Spotify is putting you guys in the prog box. All of the playlists under the album are prog metal playlists. I'm like, I listen to the record. I'm like, I don't know about that algorithm.
Are we in a prog box? I didn't know that. I would
apparently so. Yeah.
Oh well, you have to take it what you get. Don't be too picky. Don't be too picky. But prog, okay, yeah. For me, prog, yes, is prog. Jethro Tull, early days is prog. Peter Gabriel, Genesis is prog. But I would put us to the crossover Gothic, dark roxy box, but Gothic it's prog. Up to me. I'm not working in a Spotify.
Yeah, true.
Luckily.
Right. So had the track list for the album come about, did you guys write the opener to be the opener, close be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
Well, obviously, you probably must understand that there's 5 old geezers in a band. Like everybody has like a 30-year-old career. So there was pretty many options for the track list and for the song selections. We actually wrote 14 songs, so there's still 4 more to come, and they are not bad. They are not shitty songs.
Okay.
They could easily, any one of them could be on the album. But we ended up like maybe 5 track lists suggestions, and then Mikael, he threw in the track list one day that guys, cut the bullshit. I have the perfect track list. And also including the song selections.
Yeah.
And he threw it in. I little bit look at it, and I just gave up. I thought like, he's the singer. He knows the lyrical context. He built the lyrical context. It's so important to have like a coherent album. Lyrical-wise, it doesn't happen always. So I just gave up all my ideas, and I just put it to the WhatsApp that looks good. And then I
Yeah.
also added that it kind of looks like a vinyl track list. I
Mhm.
was thinking about vinyl, you know,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it
yeah.
said like, yeah, it actually there is some sort of a vinyl vibe. So maybe the track list is actually designed for listening it from the vinyl. But I've been listening it also in the digital world, and I think it's a perfect song selections,
Mm-hmm.
perfect track list. And as said, we also have a couple of bonus tracks which are totally as well made and produced as
Yeah.
the whole album. So maybe someday we will release them, or we can build some deluxe edition or something.
Okay,
Maybe.
damn. You took my follow-up question. I
Yeah.
was gonna see like were those ever gonna see the light of day, but possibly, maybe.
Maybe.
I would say yeah, because we invested a lot of time and effort and money for those
Of
songs. So
course.
hell yes, they will be
Yeah.
released.
Would be a waste. Yeah. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
There was no pressure because didn't have any audience.
Yeah.
You know, of course we can think about that. Amorphis has a lot of fans, and Halo Effect has some fans, and but we make the album. Well, basically, we had zero audience, so we made the album for us, for
Yeah.
ourselves, and then we hoped that when we someday put it out, uh, audience or people or whoever hears it will like it or hate it, you know, or just ignore it. So we didn't really have the pressure to make anything, but of course it was a liberating experience, you know, to start writing music, kind of like creating a new band. And
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about putting people together. I'm talking about artistically. We made Cemetery Skyline music, like at the same time in the process, and it was very liberating and interesting, and there was basically total freedom of creation because we really didn't have any audience, and there was a lot of fun times. You know, I wouldn't say there was any pressure, and of course there was pressure when we had I made like a production demo, and we made a decision that we're going to start looking for a record label. Of course there's pressure, like is this good enough to get a record deal in this very difficult situation nowadays because the money is tight in the digital world. And then we made the decision that okay, we sent the production demo I made. There was 4 songs. I think there was Violent Storm, Torn Away, In Darkness, and the last song, Alone Together, the ballad or something. Then we made the decision to send the demo to all the biggest metal labels in Europe and in North America, like 5 labels, and we did. And then there was pressure, one night pressure, when we were thinking, what are they going to answer? And then the next morning we got 5 yeses, and some of them already sent like a black and white, like a document.
Shit. Yeah. Damn
so
right.
so the pressure we had a pressure, but it lasted like one night.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Oh my God.
And then we made like a pyramid, how do you call it, pyramid thing, and then we negotiated and ended up with Sony, Century Media Germany,
Yeah.
because Mikael and Markus has been working with them with the past. They were very excited, and they have a lot of experience to market this kind of music. And there was a lot of friends in the house, and they gave us best resources to make like 5 videos and album, like however we want to do it, and they are really open-minded for our ideas, and we are bouncing ideas back and forth, and they are really participating also to the ideas, what we could do and what we will do, you know. So it was very, very good choice.
Oh yeah.
That is incredible to hear. That must have been like such a relief, because that kind of reflects how maybe the general public as well would react to the record. If you get 5 yeses like overnight, that's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, excited yeses. Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't happen every day, you know. And I personally don't believe it has nothing to do. It has something to do that we are basically kind of like a super group.
Oh, 100%.
No, that it was beyond that, you know. They really pointed out the songs, and they were like excited about the genre we are doing, and all that kind of shit. Maybe they are the same generation that us, like
Yeah.
they lived those times, you know. It somehow took them back to the 90s, but or early 2000. But Yeah, it was kind of it just doesn't go like that always, you know. Or we got a lot of good offers. I'm not saying they just called us that we can put it out and you guys can hop on a tour with a van. No,
Mm,
absolutely not. We really got like a proper old school like resources for
yeah.
making the album as best we can. And actually, I think we did. Yeah.
Mm,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Well, we tried it in Duff's in Brooklyn, in the old New York rock and roll bar, and
Mm-hmm.
I must say, at least in a bar in a party mode, it worked like hell. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, I've tried it in a car. The highway keeps rolling. You know, you can just drive and listen to the album. I think it works also in a car.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been for a long time in a gym. I should go to the gym maybe next year.
New Year's
But
resolution.
I was
I
gonna
would
say New Year's resolution.
I would imagine the album goes well in a gym also, you know, because
Mhm.
there's this crossover, punchy vibe, especially in the first half.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Everybody can decide up to themselves, you know. I think it works anywhere. But
Yeah.
of course, like party with your friends, there's plenty of what it gives you. Nordic Gothic is basically a party album if you listen, but there's also like atmospherical moods
Mhm.
and the one proggy moment. Yeah.
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 Yeah. The one little proggy moment. Fucking love it. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Melancholic,
Mm-hmm.
atmospherical
Mm-hmm.
rock.
Damn right.
Hell
Damn
yeah.
right. Rocking with it.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Well, I, I think I don't have to point out the mood, but everybody who has like ex let's say bad experiences in life or like a broken relationship or contradictions
Mm.
or problems like what the fuck is happening, like what is life and why. I think
Yeah.
he or she should listen to the album and read the lyrics at the same times, because I once did it in my local bar terrace last summer, and I took the lyrics and I listened it all the way through, and I was like blown away that holy shit, I find so much stories which could be straight out of my life,
Mm.
at least somehow I get connected. I can make my own interpretations about what Mikael is singing. You know, you can
Yeah.
find a lot of stories there, which maybe you can connect. Nobody knows.
Mm. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Makes sense. All right. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
I haven't found any negative
Okay.
thing, or we didn't have any arguments or anything.
That's
We
great.
Finnish and Swedish, Finland and Sweden people are very good friends, or somehow we have like some sort of a connection. But
Get
of course,
along.
Yeah.
the challenges were that the two guys are living in Sweden,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and we didn't rehearse the album at all together. We
Mhm.
had everything was done remotely. You know,
Mhm.
we Finnish guys. Well, actually, only place where I went was the drum recordings, where Vesa was in the old mansion in the forest.
Mhm.
But basically, everybody did their share just by themselves. So there was some tiny troubles to tie it all together, that it sounds like a real band and
Yeah.
everything's like, especially the demo phase. But no, we haven't had any problems or arguments. I think everything's been super smooth.
Good.
Thank to the nice guys, thank to the good music, and thank to the record label also, who's been helping us in every turn if there's any kind of like tiny problems. And finally, when we did the Violent Storm video, We actually met in the cemetery first time. All five of
Oh
us.
my god.
That's wild.
That's
And we are in the video. We are walking towards, and we are actually the band comes together. But that was the first time ever all of us five were in the same location.
wow. That's fucking awesome. That's
Yeah.
man, that's epic. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Fuck
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
In a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I don't go to the gas stations in tour.
Yeah.
I did it in the 90s all the time when I was young. Every time there was a gas station break, I ran to the gas station and bought beers and
Yeah.
chips and shit. But I last like 5-6 tours, I haven't been in a single gas station. But okay,
Damn.
if I have to pick something,
Okay.
maybe I would pick the Doritos.
Oh, okay. You got a specific flavor of Dorito?
Basic.
Oh, okay.
Same,
What is
same.
it, like hot chili or
Yeah, something like that.
something like red?
Yeah, the
It goes
nacho
down
one.
with the beer. Yeah, something which goes down with the beer. Sometimes in the middle of the night you drink beer in a bus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you need a chip to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Damn right. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
a dish. Well, fried bat. Do I have
Mhm.
to explain?
I would love for you to explain, actually.
Well,
Let's
it's
unpack that.
it's gothic enough for this
Mhm.
kind of music. And it's something we never done. You know, we never.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody tried bat.
Yeah.
I know it exists. They fry them in
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
same kind of out of the box, out of the comfort zone, like what we are doing right now with the Cemetery Skyline.
Yeah. I love it.
Perfect
Damn right.
explanation.
Yeah, damn right.
And for the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Long Island iced tea, make it strong.
Okay. Damn.
Not feeling anything. And what are you eating, or are you just going out with the drink?
Good question. Maybe the bat.
Oh, the fried bat? Yeah, try it.
All right.
Okay, cool. All right, crazy fucking last meal. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh my God. There's so many places I would love to go.
Mhm.
Maybe I would go to the Blade Runner city
Ooh.
or Age of Egypt, old Egypt. I would love to see how the fuck they built the pyramids.
Yeah, no, that's just wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there with you.
Oh yeah. And I have not asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Ooh.
All right.
Comes from my eyes.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
All right. I just got brown.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
my bad.
Yeah. Boring ass color eyes. So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Nothing really. Check out all the viewers. Check out the new album. And make up your mind. I'm not gonna sell it to you. Just listen it and check it out. It's something new to the table. It's raw. It's still fresh, and it's produced in a way it just doesn't happen that much nowadays anymore. So there's some retro vibes also. Check it out.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Snell. It's been Santeri from Cemetery Skyline, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.